There's a secret society of traders who can look at a loss in the eyes and smile. They have mastered their psychology. That is what separates them from the rest of the pack. Welcome to Zim Traders. Let's talk money the real way. No hype, just practical tips, real strategies, and honest conversations. In this video, we will reveal their secrets. We're gonna cover 8 different ways to handle losses like a pro trader. And if you stick around to the end, we lines give you a bonus tip that the masters use to make sure they never fall into the trap of a losing streak. Let's go. Pro tip number 1. Always have a plan before you dive into trading. Losses are inevitable. Don't trade until you've defined your stop loss. If you wouldn't enter a trade without a stop loss, then don't enter the trade at all. Make sure you know exactly how much you're willing to lose on the trade before you start trading. Just because you're a good trader doesn't mean you're going to win every trade. Even the best traders lose trades. In fact, most of the best traders have between a 55 to 65% win ratio. So accept it now. You're going to lose some trades. It's better to be right sometimes than to be right all the time. Pro tip number 2, reframe losses as tuition. Ask yourself, what did this loss teach me? This is a question that will help you reframe how you think about losses. When you ask this question, your brain starts to think of the loss as a learning opportunity rather than a failure. You start to see the loss as part of your education in the market, just like when you were in school. You didn't feel bad about paying tuition to learn something new. You paid tuition to get educated. Same thing here. Anytime you're out there making trades, whether you win or lose, you're getting educated. It's just that simple. Pro tip number 3, control emotion with the 24-hour rule. After taking a big loss, put away your laptop, step away from the charts, and do not trade for the rest of the day. Wait till tomorrow to trade again. Revenge trading is one of the quickest ways to blow up your account. Traders who can control their emotions and avoid revenge trading are already way ahead of the pack. Now, we're not saying to take a break after every single loss. That would mean you probably won't be able to trade very much. What we are saying is that if you take a huge loss, step away and cool off. This rule has saved many traders. If you've ever lost more money in one day than you'd like to admit, you know what we're talking about. The 24-hour rule is key to keeping your emotions in check. So if you have a horrible day and you want to quit trading, just know that you don't have to make any decisions right now. Just wait until tomorrow and let your emotions settle down. If you need to talk to someone about what happened, reach out to another trader or a friend. Getting things off your chest can be a great way to release emotion so you can move on. But whatever you do, don't make any rash decisions while you're emotional. Pro tip number 4, stay focused on your strategy, not your pride. Taking a loss doesn't mean your strategy is broken. The only way to know that your strategy is bad is if you review all of your trades and see that multiple of them had bad entries, bad executions, or bad risk to reward ratios. Otherwise, just because one trade goes against you doesn't mean your strategy is ineffective. Stay objective. Be rational and logical. Don't let your ego cloud your judgment. Losing is part of the game, and winning is also part of the game. If you stick to your rules and your strategy, eventually you will come out on top. Pro number 5, set a daily loss limit and walk away. When you walk into a casino, they immediately tell you that if you lose $500, you need to walk away. Here's a news flash, the same exact rules apply to trading. So set a daily loss limit and stick to it. For example, if I lose 3% today, I stop. Once you hit that number, close out all of your positions and walk away. Don't try to fight it. You might think you're doing the right thing by staying in the market, but trust us, you're not. When you lose more than you should in one day, it's time to quit. But why? Because pros protect their capital first. Then they go after profits. To be clear, you're not trying to make profit first and then protect your capital. No, you protect your capital first, and then you go after profit. The most important thing you have as a trader is your money. Without it, you're done. Without it, you can't trade. Without it, you can't pay your bills. Without it, you can't live. Without it, you can't buy the next course. Okay, we're just kidding. You can still buy our courses without it. Pro number 6, focus on long-term performance. One loss is meaningless. 100 trades is data. Yes, we know you hate hearing that. We hate hearing that too, but it's true. A loss doesn't matter unless it's part of a trend. If you have one bad trade, and then you go out and have 9 good trades, that one bad trade becomes meaningless. That one bad trade was simply a data point. It taught you something and that's it, so don't worry about it. But if you start to notice a pattern of losing trades, then you need to start to worrying. That's when you need to evaluate your strategy and figure out what's going wrong. So forget about last night's loss. Forget about last week's loss. Only focus on your next trade. Random big wins are great. Consistency is better. Pro number 7, train your mind like an athlete. Think of the best athletes in the world. How do they prepare for competition? They train, they eat right, they sleep right. They do everything possible to put themselves in the best position to succeed. So why don't you treat your mind like an athlete? Why don't you meditate? Write in a journal, pray, or do whatever you need to do to put your mind in the best position to succeed. Once you start to train your mind like an athlete, you'll find yourself taking fewer bad trades. You'll find yourself executing better, and you'll find yourself thinking clearly. And all of this will result in more profits. So take care of your mind and it will take care of you. Some of the best traders in the world meditate for at least 30 minutes a day. That's right. Can you spare 30 minutes? We know that you can. Final pro mindset. Losers focus on the loss. Winners focus on the next trade. So which one are you? Are you going to focus on the loss, or are you going to focus on the next trade? The choice is yours, but remember, losers focus on the loss. Winners focus on the next trade. When you start to think about the next trade, you're already ahead of the loser. You're already on offense instead of defense. You're already focused on what you can control instead of what you can't control. Remember, you're not trying to beat the market. You're just trying to beat the person in the mirror. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, goodbye.